Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things that you could do differently as a new stylist trying to find your place in the world and find a salon. So today I have with me Antonia.
Hi.
And so I'm going to just ask her a little bit about herself and her stylist journey. So can you tell me a little bit about where you went to school and what you've done since then?
Yeah, so I moved from St. Louis to Alabama. I went to Paul Mitchell School of St. Louis in Central West End. And my first 6 weeks of cosmetology school, I really kind of started thinking about where I was going to go, just because I had thought about beauty school for so long and kind of already had my hands into it. But I started shadowing right off the bat, and I thought just from my first instinct of beauty school was like, I have to be in a high-end salon, like I have to do this and it has to be this price set, and my mindset kind of just was like, I feel like it was in the wrong mindset of where I was. So when I first started I would go out and I would shadow at the salons, and I'd come home and run home, and I had a chart made out that it was blocked off like by the salon name, the commission, the products they used,
which is great, right? Like, because then you know like what type of salon you're looking for, and that is a bit of advice that I give is like really know where you want to go and what type of stylist you want to be. So go ahead.
Yes. And so then I also had down was like, does it have a leveling system? So like here in Alabama we have Summit, and I was really like dead set, like I had to have some kind of, I thought that was the only way for me to go. So I really cut myself because I only went to like a few salons because they were the high-end salons, and so I just really I went straight for those salons. I went in and I shadowed, and then I already had my mind made up about one salon that I wanted to go to, and I really, when I went and shadowed those other salons, I didn't put my full like attention into it because I had my mind already made up. So I was getting ready to sign a 3.5-year contract, and I was running on the treadmill, and I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, I cannot sign a 3.5-year contract with the salon. And I was like, and I don't want to be in St. Louis forever, so we're just running on the treadmill. And then like 2.5 months later, we're here in Alabama, and I'm doing the same thing all over again.
Right? So some people have to rebuild from the very beginning, right? So she was very new into the career before she had to like up and find somewhere else. And then there's many of us that are just, very many years into it, and maybe we stayed with the one salon that we started at, or maybe we jumped around a whole bunch. So hopefully we can give you some tips throughout this video that'll give you a good idea of what to do when looking for somewhere to be employed.
Yeah, so I ended up in Alabama, and I was doing the same exact thing that I was doing in St. Louis, but this time it was like another like run through for me. And so I, just like with moving to Alabama, I didn't know a lot. So I went out, I didn't really shadow everywhere because I didn't have as much time, but more so I went in and I got blowouts or shampoos, or just so I could really see how they worked all together, because
Or the culture.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. When in St. Louis, I didn't really do that. So then I realized like, okay, after the way I, was mistreated, and whenever I said I wasn't going to a certain salon in St. Louis, that was really important to me, of how did everybody interact with each other. So moved to Alabama and started shadowing, and ended up in a salon that just wasn't right for me. And then I reached out to Tara when finding out kind of her education, because that was where I got lost. Like, what was really, truly, truly important to me. Like, I was blinded by the looks of the salons. Like, what was nice, what was high end, and those kind of things. And then when I heard Tara was a Hanzo educator, like, that's what really was like, brought me back to like, what do I want? Like, who am I? Like, what do I like to go into every day? And her salon gave me just that.
So like another key point, right, is find somewhere where the education is on par to where you are as a stylist, or it's at least got a program in place that you're getting the education needed to up your game to the next level. So continue. What do you think now in retrospect that you might have done differently that you went through all these experiences, you've had to find employment now multiple times?
I think just don't be blinded by what a salon may look like, and like just remember what do you really want? Like if you came from a really strong school and you love the structure and you love having someone there to really guide you and give you like the support that you need, remember that. Look for that in a salon. Don't just go in and say, oh, it's so nice, like I can make a lot of money here, like, and remember your clientele, like who do you want to be working with as well?
So knowing your target market, knowing what you need out of an employer, out of a boss, and out of a leader, very important things. I want to touch base on what you can do if you're in a rut where you're currently at. And I feel like a lot of people like to stay in their comfort zone. So for me, you're always going to go through those different times where you're like, should I be a booth runner? Should I be in a commissioned salon? And really, there's not a one fits all for everybody. You have to really know where you want to be. If you're very well established and you have a clientele and you are comfortable at a certain level of growth, then booth running might be great for you. You might be able to work around your family's dynamic and work the hours that you want. A commission salon is not going to give you the same amount of flexibility in your schedule, but as you work through a salon that may be like ours, have a level or tiered system, you do get bonuses like flexibility in your scheduling, and then having the right education in place. So even if you're a booth runner, I encourage you to step out to as many educational classes as possible and find a mentor. So for me as a salon owner, I still take classes all the time. I educate for 2 different companies, so I have to stay on top of everything, but I also hired a mentor. So I make sure that I stay on top of my education so I can educate you all. So I hope that in this video you found some things that were very helpful for you and that you'll come back and visit us again. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you can find us. And Tonya Isabella Beauty on Instagram and TMAC75. We'll put all the links in the video description below. And again, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.